Hi you guys, it's Donna from fedeupwithfatigue.com, where I blog about fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and chronic Lyme. I have a Vitacost haul for you guys today. I love Vitacost. It's a great website to purchase supplements at good prices. They also have a lot of natural products for the home, for natural beauty products, natural foods. So I always usually end up doing 1 or 2 orders a month, and so I was going to share with you guys today what I got in my last order. I'm going to start with the supplements. First one is going to be Sammy, and this is the 400 milligram pack. Vitacost has like the best prices on Sammy that I've been able to find so far. Better than even some of the brands on Amazon. It's like $29.95 or something for a month's supply. There's actually 60 tablets in here, but I take 800 milligrams, so I end up having to take 2 of those a day. Sammy was recommended to me by Dr. Roger Murphy, who is a fibromyalgia specialist that I worked with for a while. And there have been 1 or 2 studies looking at Sammy and fibromyalgia patients that showed that Sammy helps reduce pain. Unfortunately, that hasn't been my experience. I use it strictly for mood. I've had depression on and off my entire life, and was on prescription antidepressants for several years. And a few years ago I was looking for more natural options, and so my current protocol is Sammy 800 milligrams first thing in the morning, and then I do 5-HTP. I believe it's like 200 milligrams. I generally take that at dinner because there is some benefit for 5-HTP to help with sleep. So that's my current protocol. I would warn, if you're already on prescription antidepressants, it's not a good idea to add something like Sammy or 5-HTP to your protocol, because it can increase your serotonin levels to the point where it's dangerous. So I would just say, pretty much for everything in this haul, if there's something you're interested in, you need to do your own research and also speak with your doctor about it, because your situation may be different than mine, and you definitely want to make sure that you're not doing something that is going to cause more harm than good. So just to put that warning out. I did a blog post on Sammy a year or so ago, and so I'm going to try to link to that in the description box below. That references the studies that I just mentioned and talks a little bit about Sammy, what it is and how it works. The second thing is Sara Pepped Ace. All right, so this is probably better known in the Lyme world, but it's also used by some people with fibromyalgia, and I'll get to that in a minute. But in the Lyme world, Sara Pepped Ace is a biofilm buster, and I'm adding this back into my protocol. Biofilm is a sticky substance. A very simple example of that is the sticky substance that's on your teeth when you brush your teeth. And so anyway, for the Lyme bacteria, what happens is the Lyme bacteria will kind of congregate together in these little pods or communities, and then they'll produce this biofilm that kind of covers them and protects them from the immune system and from antibiotics or any herbals you might be using to try to kill them off. So they live in this nice little cocoon where they're safe. And the Sara Pepped Ace actually breaks up that biofilm so that the antibiotics and the herbs or whatever you're using to treat your Lyme works better, because it basically takes their protection away. Now, in fibromyalgia, I have read a couple of articles that it is also helpful for fibromyalgia, basically for the same way. It kind of just clears the gunk out of the body. I will try to dig up those articles, because I'm thinking that likely the people that are watching this are there will probably be more people with fibromyalgia than Lyme watching this video. So I'll try to dig those articles out because I think I have read that there is benefit for fibromyalgia as well. Last supplement is going to be an oldie but goodie, Dribose. Okay, Dribose is something that I took back in 2015. Probably, I think it was within like the first year of my fibromyalgia diagnosis. And Dribose is for energy. It's to help with the fatigue that you feel as a result of fibro and Lyme and chronic fatigue. Now, Dr. Jacob Teitelbaum, who is a fibromyalgia specialist, he actually did a couple of studies looking at Dribose in fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue patients, and this stuff like worked phenomenally well in those two patient groups. I was taking it for a few months in 2015. I ended up switching doctors over to Dr. Murphy, like I mentioned earlier, and he had some other supplements that he wanted me to try, so I switched at that point. But it's been 2 or 3 years at this point, and as I go through treatment for the Lyme, my symptom picture is kind of changing, and fatigue is becoming more of a problem because I'm doing a little bit better job of keeping my pain levels under control. So I'm going to go back on Dr. Teitelbaum's Dribose protocol and see what happens. His protocol, if I'm remembering it correctly from memory, is 5 grams of Dribose 3 times a day for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, you switch over to 5 grams of Dribose 2 times a day, and just take that indefinitely as your maintenance dose. Now these, in this bottle, they are actually chewable tablets. Dribose usually comes in like powder form that you add to water or to tea or to juice or something like that. It's very sweet, so it's not a hard supplement to take. It's actually Dribose is actually a natural sugar that your body makes usually anyway, but for some reason in people with fibro and with chronic fatigue, they are not making enough of it, and so there's some speculation that may be contributing to the fatigue we feel. I would say if you're diabetic, you want to do some really diligent research on Dribose. I never had this problem. I'm not diabetic, but I am hypoglycemic. But there is some speculation that it may affect blood sugar levels. I never had that problem, but I always took it with food in order to not have that issue. And the other thing I would do is, because it is a supplement that makes you more energetic, I would always make sure to take my last dose of it around mid-afternoon or late afternoon. That way it didn't affect sleep. So that's just a couple of tips. And I had done a blog post on Dribose, I think back in 2015 when I was using it, so I will try to link to that post in the description box as well for people who want more information. All right, so a couple of kind of body care, makeup-y kind of products. So over the last year or so, I've been slowly trying to transition to more natural products. It's been a very slow process because sometimes it's hard to find natural products that work just as well as the conventional ones. There's a reason why those products are at the grocery store. It's because they work generally. So this is my toothpaste that I'm currently using. It's a fluoride-free toothpaste. And so, nothing super special about this. I'm just trying to avoid the fluoride because it is a toxin. And unfortunately, they are putting it in the municipal water supplies. And so I've taken steps to try to mitigate that. And so this is an attempt to further get the fluoride out of my body by using a fluoride-free toothpaste. It's just toothpaste. It tastes like the other stuff that you would buy. It just doesn't have some of the other chemicals and stuff in it that the conventional toothpaste has. I'm slowly also changing over my makeup, and so this is a new eyeliner that I'm trying. It's from Mineral Fusion. I've been using Mineral Fusion's foundation, and also their dry, oh my god, what is it called? Anyway, the dry makeup that's in the little compact that you use, like press powder. There you go. Brain fog moment. But anyway, I've decided to try this new eyeliner. I have tried a couple of other natural eyeliners, and they end up kind of melting off of my eyes within a couple of hours. So this is going to be another test to see if this one is actually going to work or not. I've had good results with the Mineral Fusion products in the past, so I'm hoping that the eyeliner is going to perform as well as those other products. But if not, Vitacost has a great return policy. You know, they pretty much will refund your money if you don't like a product or whatever. So I will be able to get my money back on that. This is a body wash. Let me see if I can do it like that. Body wash. This is actually, I bought this for my hubby. He has been using Nivea male body wash for years and years and years. And unfortunately, I have become sensitive to chemical type smells, and his body wash is that he's currently using is driving me crazy. Basically, if I walk into the bathroom when he's been in the shower or just gotten out or whatever, the smell of the body wash gives me a headache, and sometimes makes me feel nauseous. So I decided to pick up the Kiss My Face body wash because it's a more natural product. The scents come from essential oils instead of chemical fragrances that's found in more traditional body washes. So I'm going to switch them over on that and see if it helps. I don't generally have a reaction to more natural smells like essential oils and that kind of thing. It's just mainly the chemicals from like body wash, cologne, detergent. Like walking down the laundry aisle in the grocery store, I'll end up getting sick from that and that kind of thing. Gasoline is a big one. The soap they use at the car wash is another one. So I'm just trying to avoid running into those exposures when I can. This is another kind of body / personal care product. It's the Ecos lavender hand soap refill. This is just going to go in my soap dispenser in my bathrooms. It's more of a natural product than say like the soft soaps or the Dial or that kind of thing. So you're not soaking so many chemicals into your skin when you're washing your hands. All right, the last group is going to be food. So this is Pacific Organic Chicken and Wild Rice Soup. This stuff is so great. So we all know with fibro and Lyme, you're super tired and you don't always feel like cooking dinner and that kind of thing. So the soup is by far, it's like the best bought soup that I've ever eaten. It's very natural ingredients, and it's organic. I don't think it has dairy in it. It's gluten-free, I know for sure. And it's just a warm, comforting soup. You know, you open the box, pour it in a pan, heat it up for 5 minutes, and you can eat. So it's just very good. I discovered it when I had a cold a few months back, and I've been buying it ever since. And Vitacost has a really good price on these. At my grocery store, the box costs like $3.99 each, which is, I mean, that's pricey for soup. Vitacost generally has it like a little bit over $3, but then you know you end up with Vitacost runs all of these sales where you can get 10% or 12% or sometimes 15% off your order. So that typically brings it down under $3 a box, so it makes it a little bit more manageable. So whenever I do a Vitacost haul, I always put a few of these in my order, just because they're easy, quick, fast meals, and 5 minutes and you're done. All right, next product is gonna be the Gin Gins, and this is like a hard ginger candy. So I picked up a couple of these. So what I use those for is nausea. So when I was taking antibiotics for Lyme treatment, they would cause nausea, and it was pretty much an everyday occurrence. And I try not to take prescription drugs if I don't have to, so I would pop those candies in my mouth. And I know there are going to be some Limeys that are going to say, "Oh God, it has sugar in it." Yes, I know. I know that's not optimal. In the Lyme world, there's the belief that the sugar feeds the Lyme, and so you should try to cut out as much sugar as you possibly can. But I have to be someone that's balancing this out. So I still use the ginger candy whenever I get nauseous from treatment. And another thing I use it for is having Lyme. One of my symptoms is I get car sick. Even just going 20 minutes to town, I can get car sick. So the ginger candies, they just kind of settle my stomach so that the car sickness, motion sickness isn't so bad. So I keep those in my purse. I keep them in a jar in my house, and they're just really a great natural remedy for nausea. Next item is taco shells. So you're probably thinking, why don't you just buy the Old El Paso taco shells at your grocery store like a normal person, right? Well, my grocery store, unfortunately, they only sell taco shells made with genetically modified corn. And what that means is, if you don't know what GMO corn is, GMO corn, basically they have bred the corn at this point so that it makes its own pesticide. So they did that so that when the bugs get on the corn, if the bugs go and try to feed on the corn and they eat the corn, it kills the bugs. Well, whoever thought that was a good idea isn't a very smart person, because let's think about this. If you eat the corn, the genetically modified corn, and it kills the bugs, what is it doing to us when we eat the corn? So what I've noticed is that when I eat genetically modified corn, my symptoms tend to flare up. My pain gets worse. I'm a little bit more tired. And so I have tried the best I can to cut out genetically modified corn. My grocery store was carrying these taco shells for a while in the natural food section, but they've stopped doing that. So now I'm ordering them off of Vitacost. They're actually cheaper off of Vitacost anyway. And so this way I can still have tacos but not have to eat pesticides when I'm eating the taco shells. So I think that's a pretty good thing. And last item, this is actually for my hubby. This is the Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother. So my hubby has been having digestive problems for several months, and he has the last few months he started using the Bragg's apple cider vinegar. So he mixes the vinegar with some raw honey and also some lemon juice, and then he drinks it a couple times a day, and it helps with his digestion of his food, and helps with the acid reflux, and he's having pretty good results with that. So there's actually he learned about that through Dr. Axe, who is a holistic doctor that does, I think he's a chiropractor actually, who does YouTube videos. So I'll try to remember to link that video of his cocktail that he uses for with the vinegar and the honey and the lemon juice. So, oh, and cinnamon. He also puts a special type of cinnamon in it too. So the cinnamon, I think, is supposed to help like balance your blood sugar. And I can't remember what the other stuff did, but anyway, it's supposed to be really incredible for digestion. So that's it in the haul this time. Just wanted to encourage you guys that if you're interested in learning more about fibromyalgia and chronic Lyme, Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm just getting started on the channel, and I'm slowly building up my library. And also, I would encourage you to come over and check out fedupwithfatigue.com. There'll be a link in the description box, and consider signing up for my emails. I send out an email every single time I update my blog. My blog is probably a little bit different than some of the other fibromyalgia blogs that you run across, because I tend to focus on research and treatments and that kind of thing, as opposed to more of the psychological aspects of and day-to-day aspects of living with chronic illness. So anyway, check me out, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.